Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. You know what that is? I'm trying my best, but it's from Tetris, which is what we're about to do. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you are subbed, you can ring the bell so you can be notified whenever we make videos like this, or posts or something like that. Speaking of posts, there are two polls that not many people have voted for yet. One which is a little reward, and it will be enacted upon once we reach 100 subs. And another one is a weekly poll, which the voting will be tallied up by Wednesday at 10 p.m. exactly. And, God, what else? Oh, yeah. The poll is to vote for some games. And whichever one gets the most votes will be a game that will be staying as a series. And the rest will be gone for a little while. So don't forget to vote for your favorite. And let me pull it up. Tetris Forever. There are 15 achievements. I can guarantee you we are going to unlock all of these. Not today, but at some point in the future. So, let's do this. I'm very excited. I have not played Tetris in so long, and I've been itching to play this game. Especially because Tetris Effect, or Connect, I believe, was on one of my wish lists. Hold on. Yeah, Tetris Effect Connected was on my wish list for quite some time. Running install script. Microsoft VC redistrictable? Does that mean it's loading? Just click the open button. It should be doing something. Come on. The heck? What the heck? Why isn't it doing anything? Oh, this is embarrassing. I swear I paid for this. Why is it not opening? It says launching. Maybe some of the downloads will help me figure this out. Nah, it's nothing here. I don't see nothing here. Oh well. Well, I guess since we're waiting, I could just show you my Steam page, I guess. I don't know. There we go. That's fit. So this is how you're going to see games from now on, with me in like the little corner here. It's the best way to make it the most appealing, in my opinion. Or I could center if you want. Feel free to let me know which works better, but this is how you're going to see games from now on. Unless Twitch doesn't work out, in which case I'll just re-get Streamlabs, because I feel like that one worked better. So that's the updates. Is this even launching? Okay, I'm canceling that launch, and I'm going to reopen it. Running install script. What the heck does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, some changed on it. Oh my god. It's opening. Oh, Christ. Tetris Forever. As soon as it... Yep, and that's why the window was smaller. There we go. All right, now you can see it. Let me open it on my end. Photosensitivity warning. A small percent of people may experience seizures when exposed, including light patterns or flashing lights and yada yada yada. You've been warned! Blind me, I dare you! Tetris is the one game that's still going to be around when all other games are gone. Hank Rogers. Play Tetris, my friends. Alexei Pajitnov. They're not wrong. Tetris is one of the longest lasting games to ever exist. In fact, I think it's like the #1 game to date. Hold on. Dude, that's so cool. Alright, let's get a look at it. I cannot see my mouse, unfortunately. Gold Master Series? What does that mean? Thank you for playing Tetris forever. At Digital Eclipse, we believe classic games are the foundational art on which our industry was built and deserve a higher class of treatment and preservation. The Gold Master Series curated and published a Digital Eclipse preserves and authenticity restores landmark titles from gaming history while celebrating the accomplishments of legendary designers, teams, and studios. Our interactive documentary format brings artificial materials, interview videos, playable games, and more into a single, cohesive, chronological, and contextual experience. The video game equivalents of a documentary film. We hope you enjoy this new approach to archival game releases, I don't know, and hope you look forward to future installments in the Gold Master Series from Digital Eclipse. Language, audio, windowed. I'm okay with the window. It's fine. Play games. Tab. Chapter 1. What? What is this? The perfect game. A researcher at the Academy of Sciences in Moscow comes up with a new game idea, one that can't stop playing. Welcome to Tetris Forever. Begin your journey through 40 years of Tetris history in the timeline below, or jump right into a game by pressing tab. Wait, I get to glow through the history of they making Tetris? What the heck is Tetris World? Oh, it's that version of Tetris. Whoa, it's a big console. But I saw a VR headset, I thought. Yeah, who plays Tetris in VR? Whoa. For over 40 years, the game known as Tetris has enticed us, confounded us, and occupied our brains long after we put down the controller. It's hard to imagine a world without Tetris, but how did we get here? Very true. Even my mom played Tetris. Like, the minute you see it, you know it's Tetris, and you just love it. If you're any kind of gamer, you know what Tetris is, and if you don't know what Tetris is, then I would be shocked. Introduce the perfect game. First created in the Soviet Union in 1984, Tetris has spread to all corners of the world, but its globe-spanning journey would not be an easy one. Play video. Whoa, wait, what?
Hi everybody, I'm Alexei Pasha. 10 years ago, I invented a game called Tetris.
Great is not the word for Tetris. The right word for Tetris is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. I stand in line and there I play Tetris for the first time.
It's really the perfect game. Once you've played Tetris, like it's part of your DNA.
Then I go and play other games, and I find myself standing in line at the Tetris machine again, and I play again.
Perfectly implemented, perfectly balanced.
True.
The fourth time I'm standing in this line, it's like, I'm really hooked on this game. I said, I'm going to go to the Soviet Union, and I'm not coming back till I have these rights. Tetris is for everybody, all genders, all ages.
Yeah.
The game transcends cultures, it transcends language, and there's a whole Tetris effect that happens. You start seeing Tetris pieces everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
When you're packing a car or
Yeah.
when you organize something.
Yep.
It's harmonically, everything comes together.
The thing that makes Tetris Tetris is the well and the pieces.
There's nothing associated with Tetris except geometry, which is universal.
It's no character. You don't have attitude to the pieces. They are all good. It allows you to concentrate on your activity.
It only is a game.
It's not a destructive game, it's a constructive game. You're basically building lines of blocks.
This is
It's
so
illusion
cool.
because what you generally do, you don't construct anything. As a matter of fact, you keep destroying the stuff you build.
I love that kind of attention.
All you see
Yeah.
is the garbage, your failures and mistakes.
You want to keep clearing lines.
I remember that. I
Play
want that so
to
bad.
Get rid of it, to get it lowered.
It really kind of speaks to the human need to want to create order out of chaos. Alexei figured it out, and that's why we're around 40 years later.
All my life is connected to Tetris. Every time when I design the game, I never satisfied because I clearly see that this game won't be at the same level of Tetris.
The friendship that formed between Hank Rogers and Alexei Pajitnov really, ultimately, brought Tetris to the rest of the world. They're still best friends today.
I think our friendship goes deeper than Tetris.
They're both programmers, and they both have the love of games.
Basically, I just live with it for my whole life, and time to time, strange stuff happened. Play Tetris.
Yes.
Okay.
Play it. It's amazing. Dude, I love this. I want to go through this whole process. Oh my god. Whoa. They go through, like, everything. Oh my god. Dude. Guys, I want to do all this. Like, I want to go through all this knowledge. This is so cool. Wait, what? Oh, we get to play the games in the timeline? That's sick! Well, hell yeah, I'll go through the process of it. I'm a big Tetris fan. I remember my first time playing it, I was immediately hooked. It has made me want to play so many classic games like Pac-Man and like Dr. Mario and all those just like great fundamental games that you can just play on like any device. And like I said, I've tried playing it before on my phone, but they just never could find the exact perfect version of Tetris. There's, for me, only one version of Tetris, and that's just the classic. You add these missions into it, you add all these other objectives and strategies and points into it, and it just ruins the flow. It was perfect. You take blocks, you push them down, and you make a match where it just is an entire row of nothing but blocks. And that's just all you needed. I don't care if the blocks would extra, like, fall with gravity or that there was, like, music in the background. I loved the basic game the way it was. The music and everything was just an add-on, and if I could turn that all off half the time, I probably just would. Anyway, let's go down. An Ancient Connection. Oh my god, I know that game. At least I think I do. With the passage of time, I learned of the true antiquity of the pentaminos. The observation that there are 12 distinctive patterns. The pentaminos that can be formed by 5 connected stones go on a Go board. Yeah, Go. That's the game I was thinking of. Oh, you can even read it here. Cool. Oh, that's how you clear it. But yeah, I remember Go. It's a great game. The way I remember it is there's like black and whites. And every time that there's like 2 whites in between a black, that black would flip to white and vice versa. And the goal was to see who would get the most colors, all by placing one single stone every single turn. I want that game. It's just a classic game. There's a lot of good classic games out there, to be honest. The very old Japanese board game. On a Go board, the very old Japanese game is played with black and white stones, markers placed on a board. It is attributed to an ancient master of that game, Solomon Golam Palominos. Pentamino puzzles. Pentamino puzzle games enjoyed a surge of popularity in the 1960s. After the spread of Solomon's Golem's research, the aim was to fit the 12 unique pentamino shapes into a rectangular form without leaving any gaps. Those look cool. That is so cool. Is he talking about like those games where you have to like fit all the pieces onto the board and then there's no gaps in between, like a puzzle? You know, like those shapes where there's triangles and squares and you just have to fit them all into this like wooden frame? Is that what they're talking about? It's really cool. Polyminos. Our story truly begins decades before the Tetris game was created in 1953. Mathematics professor Solomon Golam invented the term polyomino to describe two-dimensional shapes created by connecting equally sized squares. He called shapes made of 3 squares triminos, 4 squares tetraminos, the one we all know, and 5 squares pentaminos. As we all know, they're all called tetraminos, which is why it's called Tetris. Especially because I got like that game back there that describes what they're actually called. That's a cool book. Alexei Pagitnov was born in Moscow, the capital city of the Soviet Union, on April 16, 1955. His father was a writer, and his mother was a journalist who would often bring young Alexei to the Moscow Film Festival, where he was introduced to movies from around the world. A rare treat for a kid in Soviet Russia.
I was a regular schoolboy, and my mother was journalist in a cinema magazine. And when I got it, it was very fascinated. I fall in love with cinema that time. And my father was rather writer. He published several books on different writers and philosophers. So they was humanitarian and I am kind of more technical person. Father feed me with lots of logical puzzles. He tried to teach me with the chess, but completely failed because he was a very good chess player and I never can beat him. So I'm very defensive in chess. So this is not good. There was some puzzles all the time around in the house. So that's what managed me to more mathematics in my career. In 8th grade, I entering to the special program for mathematics. Then I get to the high school.
Dude's got an incredible shirt. I'm not talking about the one with Tetris. I'm talking about the one with all the Tetris minnows. I would love to purchase something like that. That's sick. Good artwork. I remember when me and my dad would play chess a lot. In fact, I got into chess because I think of one of my uncles. He just had a chessboard one day, and I just like tried to learn the rules, and then I just got really into it. The strategy was incredible. Even when I played by myself, I would still try and pick up on certain rules. I would verse my dad on it like every week. And then eventually, at one point, I did beat him once. And then he was afraid that we wouldn't be able to play, we would ever do it again anymore. Because like he said, he would do it against his father a lot. And the moment he beat his father, they never actually played again. But we still play it every now and then, especially at like family reunions and stuff. We still find ourselves playing chess. He mostly prefers the classic, but for me, I got a different bunch of varieties of such. After all, you've seen me play Shotgun King. There's been King of the Bridge. And that's just like the computer variants that I know of. There's still a lot more about chess that you've not seen and that I don't have that I really am raring to get at. Like tank chess. Playing with math. He was also a math... Ow. He was not that. That was just me and my Fitbit. Ow. He was also a math prodigy who participated in various competitions and high-level mathematic courses at school. In his free time, he enjoyed math-based riddles and puzzles. One day, teenaged Alex Ree found an interesting math puzzle at a logic... What the heck is going on with the screen in the back? It keeps flashing on and off. Math puzzle at a local school. A set of Pentamino toys. He would spend hours playing with them. Later, he would read Solomon Golem's book. I don't blame you. If I was in class, I would probably want to play with those all day too.
There is a professor in United States. His name is Colomb, and he wrote the entire book about Polymino. How many different shapes you could build out of several squares, put them together.
God, that's amazing.
I love this book. It was translated, and wow, one of my
beautiful.
favorite book on my mathematical bookshelf. So one square produced
Dude,
just one
I want
piece,
that book.
it. Two square produced just one piece, which traditionally called domino.
Domino.
That's where mino came from. Trimino is just two pieces. The straight line and the ankle.
That's why they're called dominoes, because dom must mean two.
But with the pentamino, it starts to be interesting, because there are exactly 12 different shapes you could make together with the 5 squares. So this pentamino set, I purchased it. I believe I was 14 or 15.
Oh my, yes, I would play that for hours.
It was lots of enjoyment there. It is.
In fact, I have a canoodle over there.
So
and a few other sorting puzzles around here somewhere.
Which you could make out of 5 squares.
And even like toy on my wish list too, no joke.
Or X. This one called F somehow. It's not F, but look like F.
It's like, fuck it. Just call it F. Don't need to be
wanna
fancy
build
with it.
something. It's much more rich than jigsaw
It's the failure
puzzle,
piece.
Jigsaw puzzle you could put together just only one way. This stuff are much more, give you much more diversity. Something like that. The activity very much remind you how you play Tetris, isn't it?
Yes.
I did some kind of tower or whatever. But then the moment starts that you get tired and try to put it back in the box. And that's where the puzzle starts.
I love that. I would just spend hours doing that with the box, no joke.
Doing some progress, and all of a sudden you discover that you are very far from...
I'm really excited to go through this whole journey.
that
This is
stuff
cool.
to-
Never seen a game that
to
does
put
anything
it
like
together.
this.
So we
Definitely wanna
already
see what
don't
other
have
stuff they've
this
made
for
now.
For this side, maybe here, that piece doesn't fit there as well. And then you start to kind of do some kind of panic movement, take away this stuff and put them together, and it didn't fit, and so on. 6 by 10 rectangle could be filled up. I calculated on my computer 14
Man, I've used to play with so many of those that my brain would always immediately, like, moments after giving up, be like, okay, this is how you can fit these pieces together, and I would just even sleep on it. And then in my dreams, I'd be like, oh, that's how you do it. And then I'd go back the next day and be like, wow, good puzzle.
Find the proper piece. I had
Love those
several of
puzzles.
them lying everywhere in my house.
Probably why I'm really
Once
big on
in-
space
twice
management
a
games, to be
year I
honest.
Found this box and enjoy it and then put it back and that's it. So, wow, I forget how to do this.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. No one's
So
perfect.
wasn't very, something really special and whatever for me.
Oh. You'll get there.
Tutu.
Ta-da! You did it. I love how he said to do instead ta-da. It's fun. The Computer Center. After receiving his master's degree in applied mathematics from the Moscow Aviation Institute, Alexei contemplated teaching math for a living, but fascinated by the idea of working with computers, he was soon drawn to the Durad Nitsign Computing Century at the Moscow Academy of Sciences there in the early 1980s. He worked on speech recognition and artificial intelligence research. Don't do artificial intelligence. I am not ever going to trust my hands in the fate of any AI. Never. They're going to destroy us all one day, I tell you.
I was interested in computer and computer science. I did my diploma work and my kind of course for credit works in computer center.
I could never see
Computer
myself doing a
science.
job like
And I
that.
love the people, and after I graduate, then I start working there. They place me on some project about the speech recognition. I found myself that I'm working mostly on the tool, to make a tool, to get some kind of strange business system, which is also the tool, you know? It's hard to explain you now, but we don't have too much fun stuff going out of computer. It was mostly boring kind of lines of
I
code.
know, that's why I couldn't do
And
it.
maybe some kind of very primitive images which are composed out of letters and symbols. That's all we have that time. And I ask myself, and how do I get the pleasure directly from the screen of computer? As soon as I was done with my plant work on speech recognition, for myself I start put together some small riddles and games and whatever. So
He's like, I got bored. Okay. Well, you thought I would work on this forever? No, I'm bored of this shit. Okay, I was just making sure the mic's working. Electronica 60. Sitting at Alex Reed's desk at his workplace was the Electronica 60 computer produced by order of the Soviet Ministry of Electronic Industry. It was a clone of the PDP-11 computer that was originally introduced in 1970. That meant it was not a very powerful machine for 1984. In fact, it couldn't even display graphics, just text. Okay. Cool. Alex Reed's computer. While actual Electronica 60 machines are exceedingly rare today, a later model from the Electronica line sits in the lobby of Tetris Inc. in Honolulu, Hawaii. My parents actually had their little honeymoon there. In this video, Axri Pajitnov introduces us to the machine.
So what you see here is you could have impression of the Electronica 60, which
It's
I
beautiful.
originally created Tetris. Very old and unreliable. So I
But
think
it's so
it's
beautiful.
just too for guests to watch it and admire. This is not authentical computer. It's a little bit later computer. It's a version of so-called Electronica 125. It looked very similarly to this one. It has this keyboard and kind of
Whoa.
Russian placement of the keys. This is monitor. It just TV set. Which produces kind of lines and ASCII symbol, and that's it. Usually I played with the numeric keyboard. 7, 8, 9 is 7, 9 for left and right, and 8 for rotation.
Ah, so you use this
I
side.
didn't have a hard drop was the space bar. Left, rotate, left, drop.
I could see
Right,
that.
rotate. Oh, rotate. Okay, and then escape when I lost.
I lost, so I left. Oh, this one's different. Look at that Tetramino. Playing with computers. In their spare time, Alex Reed and his coworkers enjoyed programming games on their work computers. They had dreams of being able to sell the games somehow, although that would have been extremely unlikely under the USSR's communist economic system. Oh, that's it. 5 becomes 4. Alex Reed thought back to the Tetramino game he had found as a teenager. Could a virtual Tetramino set make for a compelling video game? He started thinking about a game in which players could arrange Tetraminos, but soon realized that the 5-block shapes were too complex. I agree with him. If I had 5-block shapes playing Tetris, I know for a fact that I would be really annoyed for one thing, and two, think that it would just end up to be too extreme or just entirely boring. The 4 is just a great balance, especially because I've seen many games before trying to use shapes that are bigger, and I usually am being like, why is it this shape? What is the point of this game? And they fail on me in comparison to just playing normal Tetris. They were too complex. So right. So we decided to use the 4-block polyminos, the Tetraminos. I love that. Tetraminos. And that's where we got their name. A game emerges. What the heck's going on with the screen? Stop it. Rather than have the player fit the shapes into a small box like the Tetramino puzzle, Axie hit on the idea of having the pieces fall down into a well where the player would try to place as many of them as possible into the box by rotating them and fitting them together. Ingenious! It's simple, but it works. The key insight. Originally, the game would be over once the well filled up, but this would happen. Yeah. But this would happen very quickly. Additionally, Alexei announced that if the player put blocks all the way across the well, it would block off the bomb and render that area unsolvable. To solve this, Alexei made it so the game would clear any completed line to give the player more room to play. This turned out to be the last piece of the puzzle, and an addicting game was born. Very, very addicting game was born. Don't just say addicting, it was extremely addicting. It swept the nation off its feet, for Christ's sakes. Tetris. Alexei named his game after the Greek word for tetra. And tennis, his favorite sport. Ah, that's why we got it. Tennis is a good sport. I'll give him that. Tetra plus tennis thus became Tetris. I love Tetris. And I love that it came from tennis, too. Like, I used to play a bunch of tennis in my younger years, but unfortunately, like, we lost our court, and now we have nowhere to do it, so I have no idea what my games are at this point. But I've always wanted to go back to it. Yeah, it was fun playing that. At least I still got the Wii, so I can do that. Tetris, Electronica 60. This recreation of Alexi's original version. Tetris shows how the very first version of the game was played. The game kept track of how quickly you drop blocks and how many lines you cleared, but the concept of clearing 4 lines at once to create a high-scoring Tetris line clear would not be introduced until 1988, over 4 years later. Alright, shall we play? Yeah, we already read this. Play game. Whoa! What the? Monochrome white, monochrome green. Just green. Oh, these are each from different years, too. That's so cool. Whoa! Look at, we get a little screen and everything. Wait, what? Oh, I used the arrow keys. That made no sense at all. How do I rotate? Can I rotate, please? How to play, that would be nice. Nope, actually controls. Everyone knows how to play Tetris. Move left. Rotate. Z? Z is rotate? Okay. Show next piece 1. I don't need that. Increase level. Okay. That's better. Hard drop. Bam. Aha! Don't glitch out on me. I just want to play Tetris. It's simple, but I'm actually having a blast with this. That's how you know it's a good game. Just when it's at this simple form, and it's still very fun. Bam. Um. Ooh, that was a good one. Oh, stop it with the glitches, please. Just want to play normally, please. Stop. Keep seeing things blur in and out. This is so cool. I even love how there's like all the little other language in the little text over there explaining how you can play. Whoops. I did not pay attention to that one. Oops. Uh-oh, we may be in trouble here. There's the savior piece. Um... Bam. Oops. Wrong button. I'm gonna say I wish they picked a better button to rotate, but other than that, the game is perfect. Woo! I can't stop, guys. This is actually really addicting. Crap, 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 crap. Ah, crap, crap! I keep messing up the button. It's so weird to rotate. It's probably for the best. Oh dear. It's probably for the best. We would have been here all day otherwise. It's game over. Making your mark. What's that about? Set a high score on the Electronica 60. No way, I got a high score. What? No. How do I... What? Oh, that's the speed! Oh, that's what that does. It's monochrome, green, though. Not too much of a difference, to be honest. Alright, let's get out of here. That was fun, though. Inside the first Tetris, Alexei explains how the Electronica 60 version of Tetris came together. It was really
I
fun.
still play with my box of pentamines, and I'm wondering why nobody just play against each other with this stuff. And I thought that it would be very interesting to try to research it on the computer.
That was a good question.
I
Why?
just started programming it. At that time we didn't have any graphics on the computer, so I realized that I could use the square bracket for the squares, and it looked pretty very much. Then I start doubting, so 12 shapes is very good for when you have all of them in front of you on the table. But if they coming all the time, it's too much to remember. And
True.
7 is a magical number.
It
We
is.
know that 7 is the size of operative memory. People could remember lots of phone numbers. I decided that I should downsize it. So tetramine is obvious instead of pentamines, and I were very very glad and very excited when I make this decision. And I feel that it's natural the piece to fall down because it's a gravity on this planet.
Yeah.
I immediately start to put together some play field. I didn't feel that I need the entire screen.
No.
Too much movement. This play field was filled up practically in 1 minute, so I need to somehow deal with it. I realized that the full lines, all full lines, are kind of dead on the screen.
What are they
Why
doing?
don't I just take them away? And that was the last and very serious aha for Tetris game. The game immediately start to be really bright. I can't stop playing.
True. Oh man, that little
I
thing
really
flashing
appreciate
up.
the hard drops
Oh,
I did in the game. The only one drop I could do is a hard drop because my keyboard, it doesn't distinguish push and release moments. With all my wish I can do any soft drop at this time, but hard drop was very important, and that determined the rhythm of the game. Level of playing this game, as far as I remember.
What's the highest level on this? Is it 9?
9, but 9 is very kind of flashy. You know?
very true. It was very fast.
Your eyes tired pretty soon. So.
Now, is level 9, is the reason you went up to 9 because you only wanted to use 1 digit space?
Yes. Finally, my colleague found out that I doing something strange on the computer for a week or so. And I say, okay, guys, okay, I will finish my programming and I will show you the stuff. And then I put a small title screen, record table, and put together and released the game. And it was like a wood fire. In 2 months, every Electronica 60 had this game on it.
Wow.
People say that my game is like a drinking vodka. The word glass was very kind of associated with the drinking, and we need it for vodka, of course. And the people put the title Stakan. Stakan, which you used to drink vodka. But I insisted on Tetris all the time.
Yeah,
And
it's just
Tetris is
better.
a very nice sound in Russian, at least. Tetramine is obvious object which we're dealing with in the game. So I decided it should be something kind of related to Tetris. That was a very popular game which lots of people enjoy on IBM PC called Xonix. Xonix, I like this X termination, but Tetris was too much copying from Xonix, so I put is. I think Tetris will be little bit lighter and remind me of tennis, my favorite sport.
Yeah.
And this is a good name.
It is a great name. It really stuck. Now what? Alexei's colleagues at the Academy of Science love playing his game, but how could he let the rest of the world know about his creation? It would have been illegal for him to sell it. Alexei put those questions aside for the time being. First, he wanted to get the game off the creaky Electronica 60 and onto IBM-compatible PCs, which were quickly becoming the globe standard for home computers. Cool. The Teenage Hacker. Around this time, Alexei met a brilliant 16-year-old student who was excelling so much in school that he often got to visit the academy, both to learn from the staff, and to teach them what he knew about advanced programming languages. Alexei asked Vadim Gerasimov to port his parcel code of Tetris to the IBM PC. Okay.
At some moment, people who work on IBM PC approached me and started pushing me to port it to PC.
Oof.
I didn't like very much PC.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell
The
you.
colors
It's
were
Strategy
too fun,
Day.
Too bright and kind of very unserious kind of stuff. I understand that this
I got
is
too
a
excited to play
enjoyment
Tetris.
stuff for kids, but my
But it is solely a
mathematical
strategy
kind of
game.
spirit, it's not something I really want to work on a lot, you know. And I had a perfect excuse. At that time, it was no common device between IBM PC and Electronica 60. Floppy disks had totally different format. So
Oh my
that
god,
was my excuse.
that's
I
so
said, I
cool.
don't want to type it again. Forget it. One day, one of my friends from this PC department brought me the young schoolboy. He was 15 or whatever. He get this school practice in computer center for programming. Absolutely genius guy. His name was Vadim Gerasimov. He used to work for Google last time I've heard about it.
Oh,
I don't know where he is now. But this young wunderkind kind of was presented to me, and I say, well, basically I have this floppy disk with Tetris program in it in Pascal language. So if you could transfer it somehow, then we could do something with it on PC. He knew MS-DOS, the PC operating system of the time, very well. So he could do absolutely magical stuff there. He understood the file system, which is totally different. He make a physical reading of the disk. And in 4 or 5 days, less than a week, he invited me and showed me my Tetris game exactly with those square bracket and stuff working on PC. I was really surprised and amazed with this. For me, it might take maybe months or something of work, of studying, of trying and whatever. He did everything in record time. It was absolute miracle for me.
that's nice.
If we find a small rectangle of ASCII table of the certain color, and we decide to make this normal 16 color text mode.
Ooh.
And because it's PC, it's
Oh,
much more
yeah.
international, so it's immediately spread, and we start to get the evaluation from abroad as well. So
Oh, we all know those colors
everybody
too well.
likes the game, and we feel good.
Dude, we get to play that one next? Oh, hell yeah. By late 1985, Pajanov and Gerasimov had a version of Tetris that ran in MS-DOS, while this version it was still fully constructed out of text characters. The text color graphics and extended character set for the PC allowed the blocks to appear in a rainbow of colors. The display was now in English instead of Russian, which would help it spread even further around the world. Along the screen's bottom edge ran the phrase, "Play Tetris." Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, game options first. Controls. Hard drop space. Remap controls. Yeah, can I remap these? Increase level. Rotate. Alright, I'm ready. I want to do it all with one hand, bro. That's who I am. Enter your level. Duh! What? I just wanted, like, some increased level, show next piece. Wait, do I get to... Can I put one? Oh, I can. Oops. Is this really level 1? Okay, there. Now it's level 1. When it first drops, though, it's like a little faster. Hey, that's a cool little sound effect. Oh, crap. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah. Nice. Look at that. We almost cleared the whole thing. Play Tetris. What's that doing at the bottom? Just from the base game that this is right now, this is already very addicting to me. I couldn't do anything else with that, unfortunately. Um, oh crap, that's game over. Damn it. Enter my name. I'll just do Gabe. Once more? I don't know. Is there an achievement for this? Nah, I'm good. Academy Soft. That's the one we just did. Sure? Yep. spreading like wildfire. The move of MS-DOS meant that Tetris could now be played spread from computer to computer, and it did. Pajitnov made copies for friends, they made copies for their friends, and so on and so on. Tetris took on a life of its own soon. Wherever you found a PC in Moscow, there was a good chance that a Tetris floppy disk was somewhere nearby waiting to be played. There's a lot in these ones. The Hungarian connection. But it was one particular copy of Tetris that changed the world. Victor Bryabarn, one of the higher-ups at the Academy of Science, had sent a copy to his friend, the director of Computer Science Institute of Budapest, Hungary, called Sika. Tetris had escaped Moscow, but could get past the Iron Curtain. Another Hungarian invention. Well, Hungary was also, at the time of communist country, it had adopted a more progressive stance towards international trade. This was largely thanks to the massive success of the Rubik's Cube toy, invented by Erno Rubik in Hungary in 1975 and released around the world starting in 1980. That's how old these things are? Huh. I don't really play with much of them, to be honest. Robert Steen. Born Hungarian, living in London, England, Robert Steen was a computer entrepreneur who ran a company called Andromeda Software. Andromeda would license computer games being created in Hungary to publishers around the world. On a trip to the Computer Science Institute, Six key? I don't know. In June 1986, Stein happened to see Tetris being played on a PC. Wait, Stein? You mean like... Wait, who's Robert Stein? The only Stein I know is R.L. Stein. You know, like the author. Are they related? Mm-hmm. It's not even a video, it's just a picture of the dude. Notable and quotable. This company had a lab where they were developing all sorts of things. And they wanted to show me scientific, so sophisticated products. But when I looked up in a corner and said, "What the hell is this?" jumping up and down on the IBM PC screen, they said, "Oh, it's just a game." Robert Stein, The New York Times, 1988. Wow. He's like, "What is this game?" as they see Tetris. That's crazy. It made its way to the lab, and this guy sees it, and he's like, "This is something else. This is something ingenious. Let's make a deal." Robert Stein got in touch with the Moscow Academy of Sciences, inquiring about licensing Tetris. Weeks later, after much negotiation at the Academy, Pajitnov was able to send back a terse response. "Yes, we are interested. We would like to have this deal." Well, that's straight to the point, don't you think?
Our secretary of the director of the human resource person came to me and say, "We got the telex from you from England. Come, take it," and responded. And that was a Robert Stein proposal to license Tetris. He saw this game in Ski. Ski is a Hungary Institute of Computer Science, probably. And he likes it, and he wants to license it, and he proposed about, I don't remember, either 15 or 10,000 pounds or dollars. I don't remember clearly either. But that amount I appreciated in kind of 3-4 computers, PC. IBM PC that time. The situation was very clear. At this time, not my computer center, even Academy of Science has no right to have any business deal with somebody outside of USSR. It was like from kindergarten, every Soviet person knows that for sure. I had no doubt and very serious and very simply answer him in a proper words that I am very glad to receive this telex. I like what you propose. I will find somebody who is authorized to make a deal with you. Later on, it shows that he considered my very polite reply on this as a authorization for him to get the license. That was absolutely shock for me later on. But that time I went with this telex to my deputy director who was more authorized in the stuff. He said, okay, go ahead and find out if we could sell it and get couple computers in the computer center. That would be great.
Hmm.
And then I start kind of my odyssey over those different agencies in Moscow.
Cross signals. What the Academy had meant to convey by that message is that they wanted to sit down and attempt to hammer out a contract with Stein. But what Stein took from that message was that the deal was done and that the eventual contract would just be a formality. After that message, he immediately began to sublicense Tetris to publishers around the world, even though he didn't have the rights yet. Oh, oops. Tomorrow the World. Alexei Pajitnov's creation and Alexei himself were about to fully break through the iron current and emerge to the world stage, but the Tetris story doesn't end here. In fact, it was just getting started, as another game developer was about to discover Alexei's game. Tetris breaks free. Well, that's the first chapter. What's the time at our recording? Oh, we only been doing this for an hour? Oh, we could so go into our chapter. Alexei, I'm just gonna say that from now on. Brilliant game had been discovered, and the race was on as video game publishers around the world competed for the rights to publish this Russian material in their home countries. Hank Rogers, born in 1953, Dutch-born Hank Rogers moved with his family from Amsterdam to New York City when he was 11. After attending Stuyvesant High School, he entered the University of Hawaii, where he and his friends formed the Alternative Realities Recreation Group of Hawaii. ARG! Okay. To organize sessions of a then new tabletop game called Dungeons and Dragons. No way. This guy worked on Dungeons and Dragons?
I was born in the Netherlands. I lived in Holland for 11 years and moved to New York City. Learned English, went to Our Lady of Sorrows, graduated number 1 in my school, and ended up going to the best math and science high school in New York called Stuyvesant High School. That's where I got to touch computers for the first time. These were the days of punch cards, and I would put in my punch card program today, and I would get the result, which is the printout, 2 days later. That was the turnaround time. That wasn't good enough for me, so I cheated, and I made 6 copies of my program and put one in each drawer of each class. So I had a turnaround time of 4 hours, and my teacher couldn't understand how I was so fast. End of high school, I'm 18. I moved to Hawaii. Boy, I spent a year surfing and diving. You know, if there were waves, I'd be surfing. If there was no waves, I'd be diving.
Fair
I was
enough.
in the water every day. I was a fish. And one day I read in the newspapers, oh my goodness, I can go to night school and have access to computers. My dream. I loved computers. You know, I could ICS 301, you know, learn how to program in BASIC. So I said, Dad, I have access. And about a week into it, my teacher called me in and said, Mr. Rogers, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? What are you doing? I says, well, you've already used as much computer time as an average student uses in a semester. And I showed him the
Hold
programs I was working on, and he says, okay, carry on. You know, every assignment that we got, I went extra credit. I was so good that he hired me as a TA, and I graded all the papers for the next ICS 301 class. So I actually got a job, which was very useful. People ask me, what did you study? You know, what was your major? And I always say, I majored in computer science and I minored
Making
in
sure I didn't
Dungeons
miss
and
the
Dragons.
announcement for my class.
We had a organization.
Otherwise, I
at
would have
Campus
had to
Center
wait
in-
again to
called
waitlist
ARG,
it.
the Alternative Recreational Realities Group of
It's hard to
Hawaii.
remember on
You know,
Gmail half the time,
the
though.
first D&D books, they were like little tiny books, and they didn't really have enough information to actually
They're
play
so
the game.
good.
You had to make up stuff.
Dude,
So we had
look
all
at
these
that.
additional rules, and we called them ARG rules. And so that fleshed out for the dungeon masters and for the players how to play D&D. After, I don't know, I guess it was half a year, I ran out of computer classes that I could take in night school. And
Aw.
my teacher said, well, you know, if you want more computer time, you're going to have to go to day school. And so I said to my teacher, well, I'm not going to take any of my core requirements. And he says, I'm not saying that you have to take your core requirements. All I'm saying is that if you want more computer time, you're going to have to go to day school. I said, okay, I'll go. So I went to day school. I took all the computer classes I could take. And I took only the classes that I was interested in, which is pretty much all the science classes. I even took religion and the meaning of existence, you know, some history, stuff that I was interested in. At the end of 3 years, they called me in and they said, another Mr. Rogers story. Mr. Rogers, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? I said, well, you haven't taken any of your core requirements. And I said, well, I've already been to high school. So, and then they said, well, if you're not going to take your core requirements, you're not going to graduate. I said, there must be some mistake. I'm not here to graduate. I'm here to get an education. And I've already got my education. Thank you very much. And I chased the girl to Japan, and that was it.
I don't need your diploma. I just need to get the experience. I love that. That's true. That's like me. Like, I don't care about that. I just want to get, like, the information I need to help my channel grow. That's all I care about. Self-portrait. Hank photographs his reflection in 1970 in New York City as an assignment for his photography class at high school. The gem business. Hank and his father, Jerry Rogers, in Bangkok, Thailand, in 1982. His project was to design and build high-temperature electric ovens that went up to 1,900 degrees Celsius to treat rubies and sapphires to adjust color and clarity, a process known as burning. The beginning of Japanese RPGs. Hank Rogers moved to Japan in 1976, began working for his father's gemstone business around 1982. He noticed that stories were beginning to sell games to personal computers, and he wanted to get his own on what seemed to be an exciting new business. He began developing a role-playing game, something that excited the US but was not yet popular in Japan. Very true. We do enjoy role-playing games.
I went to Japan, and there was no way for me to access computers. And so I ended up working for my father in the gemstone business for 6 years. And then personal computers came out. And I go, oh my gosh, this is my chance. Got my whole hands on a computer. I went to Akihabara, which is the electronics center in Tokyo. What are people buying? They have to do with computer, because I was ready to do an accounting software, for Christ's sakes.
Ooh.
I found out, wow, people are buying games. Games? And they were mostly like little tiny shooting games and jumping platform games.
Very true.
There were some simulation war games, a little bit more complicated. But there were no role-playing games.
Oh.
Yeah, I can do this. And, at that time in the US, we already had Ultima and Wizardry. What I didn't know is that in Japan, there was no Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to teach people how to, play this game.
Wait, I thought he helped make Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, wait, maybe he did. Maybe he just knows about it. I was confused on that. Noble and quotable. I made a concessious decision to develop a game type that existed in the US, but not in Japan. There were no RPGs, computers, or paper to speak of in the country at the time, so I decided to take a chance and do one. I didn't speak or read Japanese back then, so it was a total reverse engineering of titles I had enjoyed back home. Hank Rogers Edge Online, 2013. The Black Onyx. Whoa, what's that? Hank established Bulletproof Software, aka BPS, in Japan on August 10, 1983. He developed the Black Onyx, the first role-playing game created in Japan in late 1983. Sales were slow at first, but once Hanks personally demonstrated the game to the editors of various computer magazines, the Black Onyx ended up selling over 150,000 copies, a massive amount of the time, making it the #1 game in Japan in 1984. That's impressive. Show me.
I was going to make a game. I was going to have warriors and clerics and magic users, and I was going to have all these different character classes. And my imagination, this game was going to be this big. What did I know about what a computer can do? I didn't, and I didn't know how to read, speak, or write Japanese. My wife could read, but she didn't understand anything about what was written in the manual, so that was kind of useless. And all the manuals were in Japanese, so I had to hack the computer the whole time. I had 64K, so I made a role-playing game within 64K, all graphics, no text, or a little bit of text. I started writing it all in BASIC, and then the 3D part. When I wrote the 3D in BASIC, it was like the walls were like, that's speed, and then you would take a step, bunk, and then it would like, I said, no, there's no way this game can take that long. And so I decided to take that part of the game and write it in assembler. When I was done with that, you push the button, it happened immediately. There was no, you couldn't tell that it was drawing anything. And I was like, that was the first time I really understood how fast assembler was.
Whoa.
Or conversely, how slow BASIC was. There's a sample monster here. This is the demon. 10K for all monster graphics, and 10K for all people graphics. I think they were about equal in weight. I based the graphics on on miniatures.
Oh, that's nice. And cute. Oh,
When we
look
played
at that
Dungeons
one.
and Dragons, we played them with miniatures. And so you had little people, and every time you went and you bought a new piece of armor, you would see it. And so you graphically could see your group up to 5 warriors getting better and better and better. And I made a dot matrix graphic editor so that I could draw each monster dot by dot.
Nice.
He's already bought armor. He's already bought a shield. He's already bought a sword. I mean, he's already an advanced level character. The only thing that wasn't graphic was potions. Potion, you could see whether you had a little bottle as a potion, but you couldn't tell how many potions you had in your bottle. It's up to 5 potions. I wanted a package that was a little bit more expensive than the other packages. All the other packages were paper. Part of the reason is my game was 7,800 yen when all the other games were 6,800 yen. And the reason for that is because I believed that my game had longer gameplay.
This guy
The painting
understands.
in my office was painted by Roger Dean, known for doing things like the Yes Band logo. And
The
this
what?
painting that's hanging in my office was the cover of an RPG game that Hank created called the Black Onyx. And this was the Famicom version of the game. The painting is called Freya's Castle. And Freya
Oh, that's
actually
pretty.
is Roger's daughter.
Aw.
That game, it took me nine months to build. And I would say that's my lifetime greatest achievement.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, like today, if somebody gave you 64K and say make a role-playing game, that would be tough. Now, I used to be in the gem business, so I knew all about how to. I told my dad I need 1,000 black onyx. The first 100 people that found the onyx and send me the secret password, which was Yggdrasil, which is the tree of life. I would send them a real black onyx.
Aw.
Black Onyx turned out to be the #1 game in Japan in 1984. I published it myself. My company was Bulletproof Software. And I was all of a sudden a folk hero in the computer game world in Japan.
Cool. See, he understands the value of a dollar. I've always said that whenever I spend, like, money on games and stuff, it's every dollar per hour I play of gameplay. Which is why I've said, like, there's certain games that I always, like, look up and stuff because, like, they always try and cheat you out of certain things like that, for one thing. And two, like, if you saw the last Netflix game where that game was supposed to be $10 and it only lasted us, like, only like 3 hours, you can clearly say there's like $6.50 worth wasted right there in value. This guy understood. The more gameplay, the more money you spend. It's never the opposite. Alright, where were we? Becoming a publisher. After the success... Oh, it's in our video. After the success of Black Onyx, Hank took a step back from game design to concentrate on expanding the growing Bulletproof Software. Stop. And look for games from around the world to publish in Japan. Stop! Would you just look normal? It's with the flashes. Jesus.
I wrote the first 2 games for the company, or for my company. Came to the conclusion that I couldn't do this for the rest of my life. Basically, writing a computer game is a full-time job. In fact, it's more than a full-time job. I was running the company, and I was making computer games. And you can't do both. I had to choose. And so I started traveling around the world, looking for games to bring to Japan.
Here we are at Earl's Court. This is the 1988 Personal Computer Show.
Nintendo, that's awesome. Sega.
Hank, is that so far?
This is Shanghai on the Sega machine.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty good.
Thank you. Yes, here we have Hank Rogers from BPS. Yes, he's over here breaking in and expanding the UK software market. He's expanding in many different ways, taking over the world.
I hired programmers to actually take those games and move them to the Japanese computers. I'd published 2 of the first 4 electronic arts games, Archon and Mule. They were amazing games, by the way. I published the Star Wars games. I made LucasArts.
Ooh,
I made
nice.
deals with companies all over the world. I was more nimble than the Japanese companies because generally the way it works in Japan is somebody sees the game, they bring it to Japan, and then they have all the buchos, all of the managers have to all agree, yes, this is a good game. And that takes too long. I'm the president of the company. I could make the decision. I spoke English. I had that advantage, and I used it. I licensed a bunch of games. And one of the games that I licensed in that way was a little game called Tetris.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for that. Black Onyx booth. Hank and other members of BPS show the Black Onyx at the NEC Personal Computer Fair held in Tokyo in late 1984. That's nice. Go. Oh, we're back to here. Dating back to over 2,500 years to ancient China, Go, properly known as Igo in Japanese, is a board game in which each player places black or white stones on the board in an attempt to encircle and thus remove their opponent's stones. Hank Rogers' father, an expert Go player, had taught his son the game, and Hank was now quite immense at it as well.
Not only was my game the #1 selling game in Japan in 1984, but it was the #1 game in software rental. You could rent my game for 1 day, use your copy software, make a copy, bring it back, and then next day somebody else could rent it. You can imagine how many people actually got to play my game. Way more than I sold. And so that was really going to kill our industry. And the magazines were advertising copy tools. Can you imagine? The answer to that, to copy, is Nintendo, because Nintendo was making cartridges. My wife actually read in a magazine that Mr. Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo, plays Go. Wow. And I'd had a submission from a Commodore 64 from England.
Show me.
9x9 Go. You know, Go is 19x19, but 9x9 Go. And this 9x9 Go was on the Commodore 64, which is a 6502. Nintendo is a 6502. So I knew that the algorithm was going to work. We didn't have to do anything to it. I mean, there's no danger of that. All we had to do is change the graphics and the sound and all of that. Rebuild that from scratch. No problem. I wrote Mr. Yamauchi a fax. It's Tuesday. Mr. Yamauchi, my name is Hank Rogers. I can make a Go game for your Nintendo machine. I'm leaving for the States on Saturday. I would like to meet you before I leave. Wednesday, I get a fax back. Mr. Yamauchi will meet you tomorrow. I said, wow, that is some fast action there. Okay,
Yeah, they're Nintendo.
Now it's Thursday. Yamauchi says, I can't give you any programmers. And I said, I don't need any programmers. I have programmers. I just need money. And he goes, how much money? And I'm, wow, that's fast. And so I thought of the biggest number I could think of, 30 million yen. And he goes, deal. It's like, whoa, that was fast.
It's Nintendo.
And that was it. That was pretty much the meeting. I mean, it was over in no more than maybe between 5 and 10 minutes. Jeez. We had made a deal for $300,000. That's like the biggest number that I've even ever heard of. Okay, fine. So I'm cloud nine and said, okay, I got to contact the guy from England and say, I make a deal with him because I actually didn't have a Go game. So I contacted Alan Scarf in England, who had made the game. I said, dude, I'll pay you this much. You got to come to Japan and help me move this game to the Nintendo machine. And Alan Scarf lived in my house for 9 months while we moved the game. Now, to get a computer to play Go is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're talking about a 64K, 8-bit computer playing Go. Are you serious? I mean, the fact that it can play Go at all is incredible.
Yeah.
Little ninjas jumping around collecting the stones.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Instead of having a cursor, the stone floated above the board with a shadow, and if you said play there, then it would land on its shadow. It was graphically amazing, and it actually played pretty decently. It's 9 months later, and I'm back in a room with Mr. Yamauchi, and Mr. Yamauchi's fumbling with the controller. I swear he'd never touched the controller before. I was like, are you serious? This is a Nintendo machine. You've never actually, I didn't say this, I'm just being flabbergasted at this whole scene. and he gets frustrated and he hands it over to his underling and he says, I want to go there. He plays one game with it. And he defeats me. He's a 6th degree black belt in Go. Like my father, who's also a 6th dan. I'm a 3rd degree black belt. So I can hold my own. If you give me 3 stones or you're 6th dan, we have an even game. He beats a 9x9 Go algorithm on Famicom. And he says, it's too weak for Nintendo.
Oh.
I said, Mr. Yamauchi, it's a miracle that it plays Go at all. You know, it's plenty strong for children to learn how to play Go.
Yeah.
And he says, did you not hear what I said? I said, it's too weak for Nintendo. I had to think fast. I said, Mr. Yamauchi, it may be too weak for Nintendo, but it's strong enough for my company, BPS. Let me publish it. What about my money? I'll give you 100 yen for each copy until you get your money back, which is $1. So I would have had to sell 300,000 copies to give him his money back. And he said, deal. That is how I became a Nintendo publisher. Because if he says, yes, you can publish it, it means, yes, he's given me the blessing to be a publisher.
Nice. That does seem pretty fun.
Go was my first game. And after that, you know, I had other reasons to meet with Yamauchi. And so I would always make the appointment on a day when he had no other appointments after my meeting. And then we would play Go afterwards. And it was like the Prince and the Pauper, you know, because when we play Go, everybody else is gone. Normally he's got underlings that are making sure he doesn't say or do anything that he's not supposed to, whatever. But when you play Go, there's nobody in the room. First of all, nobody else in the industry played Go.
Oh.
Can you imagine? And those two worlds didn't collide at all. Go in Japan is not considered a game. They don't even say play Go. They say do Go. It's like doing kendo or aikido, and Go is in that class. And so we played Go, and then he would ask me questions about the business, what's going on, and so when we were actually the closest thing that he would have to being a friend with somebody.
Oh, that's cool. Young Hank plays Go. Hank Rogers played in his first Go tournament at the age of 8. That's impressive. In Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany. He was the youngest player in the tournament. Yeah, I bet. Damn, that looks so fun, though. I've always wanted to learn how to do Go like that. Famicom. Nintendo released its first game console, the Family Computer, or Famicom, in 1983. 2 years later, it had become extremely popular in Japan, and Nintendo was planning to release it in the US as the Nintendo Entertainment System. Japan's top computer software makers saw the writing on the wall and began seeking permission for Nintendo to make Famicom games. Shall we play a game? Initially, Nintendo rebuffed BPS's attempt to produce a Go game for the Famicom, but Hank was undeterred after his wife, Akuma, discovered in a magazine article that Nintendo's president, Hiroshi Yamauchi, played Go. Hank sent a fax to Yamauchi asking if he wanted to meet and discuss his idea. The next day, he had a meeting with Nintendo's president. Yeah, we just heard this. The deal is Go. Yamauchi told Hank that Nintendo would pay BPS about $300,000 to create a video game version of Go for the Famicom. It was going to be difficult to get the 8-bit Famicom machine to calculate the complex gameplay moves that would be required of a computer opponent, but Hank had a plan. Micro Go. In 1984, an expert British Go player named Alan Scraff released MicroGo, a Go game for the Commodore 64 computers, since the Commodore 64 was similar to power of the Famicom. Hank got in touch with Scraff and asked him to come to Japan to port his game on Nintendo's platform. Scraff lived with the Rogers family during that time and created the Famicom game in 9 months. Computer Go pioneers. Hank with 2 pioneers of Computer Go games. On the left is MicroGo creator Alan Scraff. On the right is Bruce Wilcox. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's Bruce Wilcox. You'll never be Batman. Who created the first 19x19 Go game in the IBM PC, which BPS licensed and released for the NEC PC 9801 computer in Japan. A temporary setback. Even though BPS's Go game took place on a 9x9 board rather than a full-size 19x19 board, it was nothing short of a miracle that Scarf was able to get the Famicom to play any version of Go at all. But the famously difficult to please Yamauchi was unimpressed and declined to publish the game. However, he did allow Hank Rogers to publish it himself if he paid Nintendo 100 yen for every copy he sold. It's impressive, but I understand why you'd be disappointed. I go Caillou Roban Ta I Kyo Ku. I think that's how it's pronounced. On April 14, 1987, BPS released the Go 9-line board game. It was the first Go game of the Famicom, and for the next 2 years, it would be the only Go game on the Famicom. BPS sold 150,000 copies of the game, but more importantly, Hank Rogers now had a friendship with Nintendo's president and a license to create more Famicom software. Wait, I can play this? Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize we'd get to play that. I thought this was just Tetris. This is so cool. I do always need to check the controls, though. I'll learn how to play. I think it's pretty obvious. Up, down, left, right. Place stone is space. Okay. You can go 2 players on this? That's so cool. Wait, what? Level 1? Well, I don't want him to get mine. Alright, space. Oh, wait, he can get 2 now, can he? What? That's not what I was expecting. Wait, what? Oh, is this 5 in a row? What? Oh, it's 3 in a row. Wait, no, it's not. Why did I not get it? Huh? Why am I losing? I thought this is how you played Go. What? You made a foolish mistake. It's mine now. What? Huh? What? Huh? Okay, this guy clearly... How do you play? Known as Go, ancient game. Objective is to capture the most territory. Yeah, I get it. By surrounding it with your stones. If you surround enemy stones with your own, you will capture it. Bullshit! That's what I've been doing! Maybe it means completely. Let me try that. Is that mine now? No, it's not. Mine now. Sheesh. I have to completely surround any stone in black. Okay. You think I'm going to fall for that now? What you thinking? Oh, come on! I got rid of a stone that was there. Doesn't make any sense why he can do that. Give me that stone. Yeah, I get it. There's daily puzzles. I'll do them in a minute. I don't like that you can, like, recapture stones that way. What you gonna do? And you lose another stone. I don't know why you're celebrating. What you gonna do now, huh? No, there's already a black one there, so you failed that. Haha! Yeah, that's fair. I'll take that one later. You see that coming? I don't think so. Foolish mistake. Very foolish. Makes sense. Wouldn't put it any other way. Must protect my territory. Huh? What the hell going on right now? What? What's happening? What? What was that? I don't know what he did. And very confused how you can, like, block off a way unless it was in there. Why does he keep doing that? I don't understand why is he doing that. Didn't understand what you're doing. Coward! Make a move already. No, I'm not that dumb. What's wrong with this guy? What? That's cheating! What the hell did he do? What the fuck? How does that count? What? I'm so confused. No, that's a trap. Make a move already, you loser! Don't understand what this guy's doing. Finally, he did something. Why'd the music just get intense? What? How the fuck does that work? Asshole. Revenge. How much longer can this last? Even the music quit on us. Fine. Bye-bye. Coward. Oh, what is this? Wuss! How do you get those ones? Oh, that's fun. Hmm? Eh? Huh? Oh! I won! I won! I meant to do that. I won. Sheesh. 3 images. What? A computer opponent. Magazine advertisements of IGO featured a series of clay figures playing games of Go against a Famicom system. The first achievement for... Where was I? Famicom system. The first achievement from May 1987 showed the Famicom disk system floppy disk version. The first 2 from June and July 1987 from the cartridge version, which was released further. How dare you! Meanwhile, in London, just as Hank Rogers was releasing his Go game, Robert Stein of Andromeda Software was closing a deal to license the Tetris rights to the US game publisher Spectrum Holobyte and the European publisher Mirrorsoft. He signed contracts with both companies even though he had not yet secured the rights to the game from the Academy of Sciences. Hink meets Tetris. As the Winter Consumer Electronics Show held in Las Vegas in early January 1988, Hink Rogers saw Tetris for the first time. It was the MS-DOS version of the game, programmed by Spectrum Holobyte, which the company was planning to release in just a few weeks' time. Hank waited in line to play this odd-looking new game, then got back in line 3 more times, eventually setting the highest score. Nice!
I'm at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. My job is to find games to bring to Japan. And the way it works is there are like hundreds of monitors from dozens of companies, all showing games.
Block breakers.
And the people are lined up to play those games, for a couple of minutes to get an impression.
He was trying to have a Go game. He was really into Go. He had this other game he was working on called Black Onyx. But everybody was playing this game in our booth. Tetris, Hank, to play.
So I stand in line, and there I play Tetris for the first time. And, then I go and play other games, and I find myself standing in line at the Tetris machine again. And I play again. And, oh, okay. And I go away, and I find myself... the fourth time I'm standing in this line. It's like, I'm really hooked on this game.
You
He
think?
sees my name on the top of the high score list. So he sits there for hours trying to knock me off the list.
I put the high score on the game. I beat Gilman Louis' high score on that game.
He meets up with Phil.
I showed it to Hank for the first time. Hank loved it.
Phil takes Hank into a meeting with me.
And so I started negotiating with Gilman about Tetris for Japan.
And Hank goes, I want to get the Japanese rights.
It's a pretty addicting game. Noble and quotable. I was fascinated that a game as simple as that could keep my attention for so long. Its lure reminded me of a Japanese board game that my father taught me how to play called Go, which was black and white stones played onto a 19 by 19 grid. Looks simple and is incredibly deep. It was at that very Consumer Electronics Show in 1988 that my adventure began. I knew it would be a hit. I knew that I needed to be a part of it. Hink Rogers. Yeah, I mean, the simplest ideas are sometimes the best ones. Ooh, what's this? We get to play a new one. That's cool. Tetris. MS-DOS. The first commercial release of Tetris was the MS-DOS version of the game, programmed by Spectrum Holobyte. Its UK sister company, Mirrorsoft, published it in Britain on January 27, 1988, and Spectrum Holobyte published it in the US on January 29. Let's play it. Back to Tetris, yes! No! I get to make the controls. This is what I want. Increase level. Oh, you can go down. Cool. Tetris was... Oh, what the fuck? I can't read that! Okay, cool, whatever. Level. Height. Level 1. Max height of 13, I guess. Whoa, what the fuck? Why am I... Whoa! How dare you? I didn't think that's what you would do. That's absolutely dick move right there. Oops. Hey, there we go. Oh, crap. It dropped down too soon. Maybe I should change the buttons on me. Oops. Okay, now, yeah, I need to change the buttons. It's not working. I need to do WSAD. It's not working. That was the controls for me. Actually, what if I just do hard drop space? That way it won't ever mess up again. Now I can't mess it up. Ha ha! Boom. There we go. Oh, wrong button. Dang it. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oops. Yes. Ow. No! Why was it giving me so much of the L? Why not? Why? Well, why did you give me so much of the elbow bend? What the heck? Yes, just one more. So I'm not going to drop it. I'm just going to let it fall all the way. Aha! Hmm. Crap. Ugh. I guess that's fine. Hmm. Double clear. Oh man, that sucks. There's that dead space I need. Oh, yeah. Oh. No! Oh, come on! Is it going faster? No! I rotated that! Oh, that's a huge gap. Can I please fix that? Yes. Oh, yeah, get the double clear. Oh, yeah, that's better. Nice. Whoa, the scene changed in the back. Did you see that? Woohoo! Oh, I can't rotate when it's over there? Rude. Oh, that's a double clear. No! Ah! So many gaps! Gah. What is that guy doing in the back? Mm. Ow! I'm just trying to move my knee and I bumped my desk. Ow! Ooh, that was close. Hey. Oops. Ah! There we go. That's a good piece. No! Come on! Nice. Crap. No! Stop falling that quickly! I just want to take my time with this, and everyone's making me die. Oops. Fuck! No! No! No, it's over now. It's all over. God damn it! I said no. Oh, there's more. From Russia with love. Spectrum Holobyte leaned heavily into the game's Russian origins when it designed its version of Tetris. The box looked like the Soviet Union flag with a yellow hammer and sickle design on a red background. The game's tile was rendered in cyrillic script, and the central visual elements was ST Brazil's cathedral and the iconic Moscow building. The game itself was full of similar imagery.
At the CES, that's when we met with Robert Stein, who had the first version of Tetris that he said he saw while he was in Hungary, and was trying to see if there would be an American publisher of that particular game. Stein made his career finding interesting products in the Eastern Europe, right, and bringing them to the West. A sole practitioner of licensing people's products, identifying potential talent. I think that was an important function at that time, given the fact that it was really hard to go to a place like the Soviet Union. What was interesting was Robert Stein had shot this game to a few other publishers. One of them was to Broderbund.
I thought we wouldn't have said this at the time because they didn't exist, but it was more of a handheld kind of game, a little bit of a lightweight game. I didn't feel like it had the heft to be a PC game. I also
It's like an everywhere game, in my opinion.
It was, it was a story that I heard about where it came from and through whom, but I was dealing with people several steps down the ladder, and I wasn't totally sure of its provenance.
There was a producer at that time, Brad Frager. It's kind of a contract producer. And Brad was saying, hey, I just saw this great game called Tetris that Robert Stein is showing around. You should really, really publish it. Then I got a call from Microsoft, from Jim McConaughey. Jim goes, hey, Stein is coming to the States. He dropped off this game. We can't stop playing it. Like, we cannot stop playing it.
Jim McConaughey, who was the CEO for Microsoft, said, I've got something to show you. And he showed me Tetris. I played it for a little bit, just couldn't quit playing it. Jim says, hey, I'm dealing with Robert Stein. He has the rights to it.
Phil was in the meeting, myself was in the meeting, and Stein was in the meeting. I said, I like the game a lot, but I want to make a lot of changes. Right? I want to change the graphics. I want to change the scoring mechanisms, the controls. I want to tweak with it.
That's fair.
Can I talk to the programmers? And he goes, you can't talk to the programmers. I go, like, I can't talk to the programmers. Why can't I talk to the programmers? If you're licensing somebody's product, I need to be able to talk to the programmers. And he goes, well, the programmers are not in Hungary. They're in the Soviet Union. Soviet Union? I turned to Phil. I said, put it in a red box.
We wanted to push it as the first product out of Russia, and we came up with a marketing concept and the Saint Bastille as the box and the spelling of Tetris using the Russian symbol and letters.
So his marketing brain starts rolling. My marketing brain starts rolling. So we do the deal.
We signed the deal, but unbeknownst to us, is it was signed in with Academy Soft, and eventually Elorg Programa took it over in Russia, and that's how some of the rights got convoluted later.
We spent months trying to get that thing tuned so that it felt right through that progression till you got into that sweet spot of the gameplay, because that was a key part of the magic of the game, right? We even put a thing called the boss key because people were playing this thing at work. So we had so that if you press a key, a spreadsheet, a fake VisiCalc sheet would show up because people, once you started playing, they couldn't stop playing. We had to get people to pick up the game. So we had to tell a story. You know, we really try to play up this kind of glasnost environment. Hey, this is the game that Russia will use to invade America, right? Through addiction. We were trying to put together a story that would get people sucked into the game. But once you got into the game took care of the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tweaked it, we tuned it, but the core of the game was always there. It was there way before we touched the product. And I give all the credit to the original Russian team.
We finally got the PC version from Spectrum Holobyte. And when we put it on PC and saw it, we got, both of us, me and Belikov, we became pale.
There's a 16-year-old German pilot that landed a plane in Red Square, and we put that into the introduction.
Pulling a banner that says "Play Tetris," right across the screen.
That was very big political scandal at this time around this landing and whatever.
So we thought that was fun because, again, we're trying to get the game positioned so that when they think about the Soviet Union, they'll think about Tetris. When they think about Tetris, they'll think about the Soviet Union.
I never knew it was in the Soviet Union. I just thought it was like a all-around game from the way they put it out nowadays.
Them and say it's absolutely unacceptable.
So we pulled it out.
And I say, no problem, we will take it away. That was a very big relief.
Just so happened, as we were coding up the game, the announcement goes off that it's going to be the first summit, détente, between Reagan and Gorbachev. So that all was part of how we framed it. Like, this is the thing that's going to break through the Iron Curtain.
We hired a Gorbachev and a Reagan look-alike.
And we started producing ads, a USA Today style ad that says, you know, what's really happening behind these secret meetings, you know, and they had them two playing Tetris. And it was picked up by everybody.
We really went all out, TV, media, the whole perestroika.
So Tetris was actually launched with the story from the New York Times as the first game from the Soviet Union.
And it won Game of the Year at the SBA Awards.
Nice.
For 1988.
What's this? The Soviet Challenge revealed. This early achievement for Tetris that ran in computer magazines in mid-1988 portrayed Alexei's innocent puzzle game as a Soviet mission to confound the American public and create an addiction so strong we can't resist. We cannot resist it, no. The top 3. Spectrum Holobyte Next Tetris ad, which ran in computer magazines in early 1989, placed Tetris alongside the famed Bolshoi Ballet and Stolich Naya vodka as one of the 3 greatest things to come out of the USSR. So true. Going multi-platform. Over the next few months, Spectrum, Holobyte, and Mirrorsoft would release versions of Tetris for many different computer platforms, including Commodore 64, Apple II, Amstrad CPC, BBC Micro, MSX, ZX, Spectrum, and later the Macintosh and Atari ST. Oh, another video. How fun. Enter Erlurg. With Tetris now on sale, Robert Stein desperately needed to close up his contract with the Academy, but negotiations became more complicated in February 1988 as another Soviet organization, Elektron Norg Technica, or ILERG for short, entered the discussions. Advertising it had a monopoly on the import and export of computer software in Russia. In May, Stein and Ellerg finally signed an agreement.
The situation was very clear. Not my computer center, even Academy of Science has no right to have any business deal with somebody outside of USSR. That was very special agency of Ministry of Foreign Affairs who was authorized to sign some kind of business deals with any other outside entities. And then I start kind of my odyssey over those different agencies in Moscow. I didn't want this too much. I was a little bit afraid of all this kind of activity around this stuff. So any excuse to avoid it, I used in full force.
You don't want to deal with it.
But as soon as I have this telex, I need to do something with it. And I did several agencies, and all of them kind of say, no, we don't deal with software, we don't know how to do this. It's not our main job, and the deal is too small or whatever. Finally, I got very good guy in Ilorg. His last name was Alexeyenko. Sasha Alexeyenko, Alexander Alexeyenko, yeah. He likes programming and he likes us programmers, and that was a very big hope for my little game.
Little?
So I prepare some kind of paper for agreement between computer center and
little.
My deputy director just signed it without reading. 3 or 4 months I didn't heard anything of it. And all of a sudden he called me and say, yeah, well, I met Robert Stein. He considered your reply as an agreement. I say, come on, how could it be? It looks like he get this deal as is, and he is sub-licensed it already, and the game is about to come out. We can't do anything like that. So the only thing we could do is just to sign the agreement with them and let them do it. So we don't have we cannot bargain with him already because he consider this telex reply as a general agreement. That was it. Somehow it happens and stopped. And I never heard about the game, about anything for another kind of maybe 3 or 4 months. But at this time, the new person came to the scene, Mr. Belikov, Nikolai Evgenich Belikov, came on board. He became the chief of my previous friend. We discussed the strategy, we discussed what we could do. We decided we never give up the other platforms and whatever. So we was all in agreement about this stuff.
Oh, I thought it was going to keep going. Oh, we can play it on here. Tetris, Apple II. Later in 1988, Spectrum Holobyte released a version of Tetris for the Apple II computer, which had initially been released in 1977. Oh yeah, this is different. Oh, come on, really? What's level 0 like? What's with all the weird bulkiness? It's hard to determine. Some of these shapes are just too bulky. I don't think they made this right. See, I can't determine it because they're too bulky. Yeah, I don't like. No, I don't. I don't even want to play this one. This one's not at all addicting. Just seen by the shapes are not fitting right. That is very unsatisfying to me. That hurts my entire existence of wanting to play this game. No, no, stop showing me shapes like that. No, stop that. No, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It's really bad the way they made that. Nope. I can't. I love Tetris, but that is atrocious. BPS gets Tetris. True to his word, Hank Rogers wanted to get in on the Tetris craze. Oh my god. Wait, how long have we been doing this? Okay, this chapter was longer than I thought it would be. I'm gonna finish watching this video and then we're gonna be done for the day. Gilman, Leo, CEO of Spectrum Holobyte, agreed to license BPS the rights to Tetris for Japanese computer formats as well as the game console rights for Japan, but Louis found out the next day that Microsoft had already licensed the game home rights to Atari Games, which had a home gaming subsidiary called Tengen. Blasteroids? Atari didn't even pay any money for the home game rights to Tetris. It simply traded Mirrorsoft the rights to create home versions of an Atari game called Blasteroids, the sequel to the outer space shooter Asteroids. Ah, that's why I know it. In exchange, it got not only the home game rights, but also the rights to release a Tetris arcade game in the US. Fair trade if you think about it.
So I went to Japan.
It's June by now. Gilman Louis comes to Japan. His first stop is the company that put him in business, a Japanese company called ASCII, that made a deal to represent Microsoft in Japan.
I had a good relationship with Microsoft Japan through ASCII Corporation because they kind of gave me my start, giving me contracts to develop games for the MSX back then. It was a Japanese computer.
That was their relationship. So he had to stop at ASCII first. And they were the biggest company in Japan at that time.
I showed it to them, but they were not that interested in Tetris.
ASCII passed on Tetris in 1988 because they said Tetris was too retro.
Oh, fuck
Can
you.
Imagine.
Fucking
Tetris
idiots.
was too retro in 1988. ASCII is gone. Tetris is still here. I would say ASCII is too retro.
So Hank goes, I'll license it. I agree that Hank would be the right partner because Hank loved this product. Like, he loved this product. And I knew he was going to do right by this product. Hank wanted console rights as well. Now, this is pre-Game Boy.
Gilman, at that point, licensed me. Of course, it was PC, it was console, it was coin-op, and then he goes back, and we had made a whole deal.
So I go back and I call up Mirrorsoft because we jointly owned the IP. The Mirror Group was owned by the Maxwells, and the son of Robert Maxwell was the head of the entire enterprise. But Kevin was trying to build his own sub-publishing group inside this, an electronic publishing group. The CEO was a guy by the name of Peter Bellata. And Peter wanted the rights for Blasteroids. He traded Blasteroid rights for Tetris.
Yeah, we just
3
read
weeks
about
later,
that.
He calls me and he says, I'm really sorry to say this, but while I was in Japan dealing this, Mirrorsoft has licensed those rights to Tengen.
Hell's
Atari
Tengen?
Games /Tengen. I said, those guys absolutely have no presence in Japan. Why would they do that? They traded it for Blasteroids.
Blasteroids was a B game at best.
I mean, Blasteroid sounds like a condition.
Yeah.
Blasteroid, here, take some preparation B. You know?
Even asteroids would
nobody
be
ever
better
heard
than
of Blasteroids
blasteroids.
after that. Anyway,
I was furious, but he wanted the Atari brand. So I go up to Kevin. I said, "This is Kevin Maxwell. I said, this is the worst decision you could ever make. How could you let this game go for a B-class game like Blasteroids?" Kevin was trying to broker the peace between warring American company run by myself, Sphere and Spectrum Holobyte, and Peter Bellata, who was running Mirrorsoft at that time. So the way it worked was, okay, you keep the game rights, but Peter is going to license this off. So I call up Hank and I said to Hank, look, I'm out of it.
I said, Gilman, we made a deal. You can't just like walk away and say that, sorry, there was no deal. We have a deal. He said, okay, let me see what I can do. And then what he came back with is, okay, well, I got you the PC rights. the personal computer rights. And that's something.
My parent company has ruled that they're going to go with the Brits. The Brits have licensing it to Atari or Tengen. Right, you need to go talk to them if you want to get the rights for the cartridge rights.
That sucks. Tetris deserves more respect than that. Oh well, that's gonna do it right now. 67, are you serious? The perfect game. Tetris Mania. The next piece, a Tetris World. I haven't even seen all the games yet. What are those about? Tetris. Dude, look at all this. Time Warp. Oh, they stop at $19.99. And they just do the Time Warp, which is brand new. Some of these are 4-player? That's cool. Quit. Yep, quitting. I want to look at something. Steam. Alright, you can see it now too. Not resizing the window again. Achievements. Global. Or in 40,000 in Time Warp, of course. Time Warp, Time Warp. Get Tetris on an Electronica 60. You gotta be kidding me. You want me to get a 4 in a row? I mean, that's not what Tetris is, right? Time Warp, Time Warp, Time Warp. Why are there so many things of Time Warp? Get 2 Tetris lines cleared on the Electronica 60. 4,000 in game Electronica 60. Time Warp. Man, I was hoping there would be more achievements for the other versions of Tetris. What the fuck? Why am I getting only Time Warp and, like, Electronica 60? That's so rude. You did that to Tetris. You deserve so much more than that. Seriously. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had so many. Like, look over on my wish list. Oh, come on. You failed to load? You failed to load? How? How, I ask you? Reload, you idiot. Look, we got Tetris Effect. We got Tetris and Puro, and that's the second sequel that they did for a crossover. Gosh. Not to mention all the other people that have, like, tried to take stuff off of Tetris from so many years. In fact, I think I have one. If I can, I don't know if there's actually any others down here that I have of Tetris, like copies that I know of. But over in here, there is something. Oh, what? I didn't put it on my favorites or anything? Unidentified falling objects. That is a game where blocks fall down from the sky, and the goal, instead of just to make matches, is to destroy them with your gun while platforming above them. Which I know is a little different from how normal Tetris plays, but the idea still is inspired by Tetris, just by that standards. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very pissed that they only decided to put those 2 major games of Tetris as the only achievements. I've been searching for, like, a good version of Tetris for so many years, and there's so many of these that I would honestly play for so many hours. And you're telling me I only have to play the first one and the newest one? Who decided that bullshit? Why? And also, why are there not achievements for, like, reading all the background and all the dialogue and stuff and watching all the videos and playing all the games and all the different settings and stuff instead of just like, hey, can you get the best scores and stuff? Just do that on your own time, bro. Why? I mean, at least we'll try Time Warp in the very end of this, but not till we play the others, so. That's going to do it for Tetris Forever, Part 1. Man, I'm still very angry that they did that. Like, God. I was not expecting this recording to be so long. I literally, went to Chapter 1, and we got through that in an hour, so I expected Chapter 2 to be the same length. And no. So, next time, I think we'll finish up Chapter 2, and maybe get started in Chapter 3. I don't know. But this is very interesting story. But for all those people who've, like, shunned Tetris for, like, any time it's been out there in any format, then shame on you. Tetris is, like, one of the greatest games ever created. And if you can't see that, then you're the problem, not Tetris. It's perfect the way it was. And I'm very excited to see what they did in Time Warp to make it even more that's so appreciative. It's like one of the best games PopCap can ever come up with because it was just perfect on the spot right there and then. And again, I believe when PopCap started making their games, it was way after Tetris hit. And there were, I think, a few certain games that sort of got the idea from the Tetris category, but not exactly, you know. Well. Wait, what are you gonna do? Oh, another good thing I really want to try is Brick Breaker. I just got this new Brick Breaker one, and I think it's got like a few different variants of Brick Breaker, and it's got like a dungeon crawler aspect to it. I don't really know. I'll check it out later, but I mean, I don't know what we'll do. Anywho, with that said, we do also need to finish through the list of VR, Mob Factory, Lego, Bart, Bonte, and then we'll be all caught up, and then we can like do replay videos and whatnot. So, if you enjoyed this, or you just came to play the games, let me know, because we're going to do both. So, and I'll probably go back and play like some of the really good version of Tetris and get all the achievements, like I said, once we are done browsing through everything. But I'm disappointed, like there's not any actual like achievements that can like really celebrate the golden mine of Tetris, and it's not just like, oh, get these number of points for Time Warp and then play the classic on so many different variations and whatnot. I'm like, come on, you can do better than that. Like, Tetris has been around so long, and this is how you treat your child? What's wrong with you? Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And, yeah. I can see why people wanted to see this. This was really nice to not just play the games, but also, like look at the story like that and listen to it. It's been a very different type of experience that I've never really seen before. And I gotta say, it has prepared me for what I want to try tomorrow. A reaction. I found something on Netflix, something that I've actually just recently been really excited to see, and I know nothing about it other than like certain characters that return because it's like a series that's been out for a while, but it comes out tomorrow. I'm very excited to react to it. So hopefully I can, and if there's any copyright or anything like that, then I'll sort that out, but I hope we can watch it all. And it is Netflix, so hopefully it stays a while. It would be really nice. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace out as always. See you next time. And remember, if you know what Tetris is, show it some love. Show it some love. Just find a version of it that's good. You know, like a classic version like this that we're doing, Tetris Forever. Even just classic Tetris that you can like find or connect or Effector, I think it was. Or even just the classic one you can just play on your phone. But don't do that like weird one that has levels and stuff. That just ruins Tetris. Just go endless, man. That's how Tetris is supposed to be played. See you next time.